so hopefully this is working. So I can't see on my phone whether or not it is. Okay, so I wonder if this is, let's see, is it rolling? I think it's rolling. Yeah, it is. Okay, good. We have 3 viewers. Yay! Hi, Steve. Hey, Katie. So we're doing the little warm-up part here where we're getting ready, and she's actually streaming also, which is pretty cool. We got a double stream, so that's pretty rad. Hi, Steve. Hello, Steve.
Hello, Steve.
Hello, Steve.
How are you?
Oh yeah, you get the shirt here, and we'll do something about that too. This is an organization for recovering addicts.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a pretty national organization. It's I think AJ is part of that somehow. Hey Jack, you should definitely friend Jack.
What's up, Jack? Send me a friend request, Jack.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get that a little bit in. Yep, there we go. I just wanted you guys to see my mouth and see how the chap lives. So Jack. What's up, Jack? How's your gas, Jack? Jack always talks about farting. It's funny. He's a really good artist. He's the one that I also put on that the live that didn't go live that I put that had your song Appreciation on it, and then the Dandelion song, and the other one, Too Many Popsicles. Well, stop eating popsicles, man, and then Ember won't be all mad that you're farting, and everybody in your house will be happier. He's all, yeah, they smell bad. He did an interview with his daughter, and she's all, yeah, they're stinky. He said, well, do flowers fart then because they smell,
Greenhouse gases, bro. Greenhouse gases. They're everywhere.
They are everywhere. Do you guys have cows here?
Yes, we have cows here in Tennessee. I'm surprised we haven't seen any, but we haven't hit any back.
Yeah, I know we haven't.
See them, but
yeah, I went to the donuts, the Dunk place today. They have amazing coffee.
Took him to Dunkin'. He's never been to Dunkin' Donuts.
I've never been there. So, well, actually in New York when I was like 14, but I don't think we bought anything because we didn't buy donuts back then. We weren't into sugar. Yeah,
so how was the Southern experience?
The Southern experience, I love it. I mean, hey Lindsay, yes, look who's here, baby doll.
Hey, what's up, baby doll, Lindsay? What's up, man?
So when I pulled in here, I came around the corner on the 43, right? And it looks just like Puerto Rico. I mean, it just looks like that. And then you go a little bit further, and then all of a sudden it looks like your town, which is pretty awesome. They passed your college on the way in here and everything. That's pretty rad. And you just graduated, right?
Yeah, with my Associate of Science in Humanities.
Yes. So you're going to the university to get your BS.
Getting my BS and degree.
Awesome.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
I like it. So today we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to do it in a little bit of a different format. When her and I were sitting down last night, and she started to share her verse, I was like, and then the backstory with it, I was like, that is like a brilliant way to share something, and it's unlike anything I've seen, really. And her verse is deep and it's beautiful, and we'll talk a little bit about racism in this area of the world, because it's kind of unique. I didn't realize this was a thing.
I live in a very cultured melting pot down here in Columbia. It's very different in Tennessee because you have a bunch of different cultures mashed together in one place, and we're all alike in our own ways. It's just breaking through that glass to see it, right?
Right, breaking that glass to see it. That's right. And yeah, that as you said, the ocean. How did you say that?
A lot of people, okay. I think the conversation we're talking about, somebody said something about someone not being deep.
Yeah.
Zach said that. Someone's not deep. And I was like, well, everybody's deep. Everybody has an ocean. Some people have this Antarctic shield, and you have to literally forcefully break through that shield to dive deep into their world.
Right. Yeah. So you have racism old. It's like passed down to generation, you were saying, right? I mean, It's kind of in that direction.
I would say the older generation, you know, they grew up very differently than obviously we are growing up now, and times were very different then, especially in the South. So I think that definitely made a divide, especially because of Mule Day and what the original idea of Mule Day represents.
And what is Mule Day? So
Mule Day is a festival that happens in Columbia, Tennessee, and it's a fun festival, you know, for everybody to come out, whatever. There's vendors, you know, that have their products. There's music, bluegrass, food festival, basically with music, and people sell things. And back in the day, it was a slave auction, and they sold livestock, which included people, and that it's still celebrated on the square today. And I think it just has some ugly roots to it. So racism is still very alive around here.
So celebrating something that where people used to be sold.
Yeah, and people
it's still continuing with that.
And people protest it. Like there's Black Hebrew Israelites that stand on the corner on the east side, and they protest it. And I don't go to it either. I protest it too because I have friends that are, you know, biracial or different races, and you know, I'm not gonna support something that was once racist. I don't care. Oh, times have changed, you know, but still the original idea was pretty ugly, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, and then to carry it on, which is weird, because you pass it on to your children, and then hopefully they have something inside of themselves that they get to decide, like, hey, maybe this isn't, you know, like maybe this isn't something that is an okay thing. So you grew up here?
Yeah, I grew up here, between here, Murfreesboro, and Nashville, kind of like back and forth.
Okay. And so what's kind of regular growing up life here?
I would say it's very diverse. It's a very diverse life because, like I said, there's a very big cultural difference. There's the city, and then there's the hood. So it's like, you know, it's like country hood. Like that, I don't know how else to explain it other than it's country, and it's hood, it's country hood down here. So growing up, you know, I think we talked about last night how I feel like the South compared to other places, it's like going back in time. We're a little caveman like down here, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that I don't mean we're not more advanced, you know.
Steve says it's like here at the moment, older generation tend to be very suspicious of others, race, religion, etc. Yeah, that'd be interesting to know a little bit more about that, Steve, at some point too, because it's something that needs to be revealed, you know. Because the more you know about something, the more you can make a decision, you know. So go ahead.
You know, it's a very country kind of city upbringing is very different because I got to see the best of both worlds, if that makes sense, you know. So when I go to Nashville, you know, it'd be real city, and then I come down here to stay with my granny. She cooked me like gravy and biscuit from scratch, like like we had.
Next time
your
mom did that too.
Your mom's learning the recipes, but Granny's the top chef, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But it was everything from scratch, you know, like breakfast from scratch, dinner at 4 o'clock, scratch, you know what I mean? Just
dang, man.
Family, vegetables in our food. To this day, we still.
You would grow the vegetables?
My grandmother has 10 brothers and sisters.
Oh.
So she grew up. See, I have Indian in me. She's from the Malugan tribe.
The Malugan tribe, okay.
Which is from Knob Creek, and like if you look up their history, you can see it on the internet.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
We changed our name to Malugan, but originally we're the Malugan tribe to conform with whatever. It changed to Malugan. But she grew up on Knob Creek with 10 brothers and sisters. 1 bedroom, 1 vehicle, you know, they had 2 outfits their whole lives.
Yeah.
You know, she said that when she was like, until she was 11 or 12, you know, she ran around, you know, without clothes sometimes because they didn't have money for them. And they would chase the train down at Christmas time just to get a couple treats thrown to them.
Wow.
Just to get some candy, right? Because it was a different time, and they were chicken
farmers.
Not that
long ago.
Chicken farmers.
Really, right?
Yeah. So, you know, my grandma grew up really poor, and then, I come from this real country background, and her brothers are all farmers, tobacco farmers. They all have livestock, you know, like goats or cows and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, I like baby goats.
So, you know,
Baby
we've
goats are
always
pretty
had fresh
cute.
vegetables from them farms
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's good life growing up in the South, you know.
Much love, Steve. So, kind of the presentation that we're gonna do. She has some amazing stories, and what she does is she puts those stories into verse, into a song, just like you would think that you know, somebody puts a song together. But usually, you hear songs and you don't really know the backstory, and try to guess like, well, what are they talking about? I think they're talking about this. Well, she's going to be very clear, and she's going to do, you're going to do for us also the verse, and then talk about it, so talking about it beforehand. But first, let's talk about your performing. How long have you been performing?
I've been doing music on stage since 2014.
2014.
So, I just started out doing local shows at this place called Tommy's Tavern, and then I met some really cool people. Shout out to Freak Show Entertainment, Michelle and TJ. They put me on with a bunch of awesome shows last year. Got a chance to perform with Lil White at the show with opened up for Upchurch, opened up for Haystack, so which are all great artists. Look them up if you haven't looked them up. They're really cool.
Maybe you could put them
all
in
from
there.
Tennessee too. All from Tennessee artists.
Yeah.
So
You can put them in the comments too.
I'll put
That would
them
be
in the
really cool.
comments at the
Yeah,
end of
at the end. Yeah,
video,
yeah, that would be
so.
good. So people can check them out.
Yeah.
And maybe we can. Well, no, I'll let you guys look up Mule Day. So the presentation last night when I was listening to it, I just all of a sudden
And it didn't even mean to be a presentation.
Yeah, it didn't. No, I just understood Courtney. Like I got her, and we connected, and our belly lights, as if you want to call it that, we connected, you know, and we're a lot alike in many different ways. You guys can message us privately for that a little bit further, because I don't want to get confusing off track here. But if you could present us with a story in the first song, that'd be awesome.
Okay. Let's see here.
Katie says Haystack is awesome. I'm apparently the only one that doesn't.
Follow him on Facebook. He just had a new album drop. I hope I'm saying this right. I Ain't Dead Yet. I think that's what it's called. Check it out. Shout out to Stack. All right.
So what's the first song we're gonna do?
I'm gonna do The Appreciation first, I think.
And then what's the story of this one?
The story behind this song is I had just lost my best friend Jesse, and I buried him on my birthday, so it really just messed me up. So I went to the studio that day, and my boy at the time, Reese, dropped this instrumental to me, and he's like, hey, you want this instrumental? And I was like, yeah. And I just sat down and started writing, and I was thinking about, you know, how I'd just been to a wedding like not long ago, and now I'm going to my best friend's funeral in the same freaking shoes. I was like, wow. So, and it just resonated. So I'll play it a little bit of it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Turn up the volume on this. And then let us know in the comment sections if you can hear it. We appreciate that too. I'll give y'all a little vibe of it, and then we can kind of.
Maybe you could do the whole verse and stuff and everything.
Yeah. The time you took out of your day to listen to this track, so when I go astray, I know someday we'll all look back, and at the time we did not know our best moments of the past was chilling in the studio, back roads and all the shows. We watch each other grow, we watch each other live. I got a lot of thanks to give. Shout out to UTG, Reese and the family. Shout out to every single one of the homies that come to watch me on the stage, the ones that put me on the right track when I lose my way. The ones that ain't afraid to say, I don't want to hear no time for tears, no time for fear. This is just the start on the real. This music is like the rhythm to my heart. It keeps me going when I'm feeling dark. When I'm feeling suicide, it's like my ride or die. My notebook is my personal Bible. Just give me one more line until the hook kicks in. To say much love to my friends. In the second verse, I start talking about more about what happened with Jesse, and it'll come up.
Well, I think you should do that.
Yeah.
I like how you honored him and yourself.
Yeah. I try to, I throw a little prayer out there before I even do live shows, like for him, in my head, He's always with me. I do a lot for him, Alright. Another show, we on the go. Breakups and weddings with the funeral clothes. It's time to get thrown so I can ease my mind just to blaze that kind. I can't calm down, I can't even unwind. I just rewind all the memories and melodies. It's like a higher power telling me to hop on the beats and speak. It's like in my hearing voices, is this telepathy? It's sad to see that some things in life are just not meant for me. I'd rather be with the music and movement, trying to find a better path for my family. It's all a fantasy. It's twisted like the lies they tell to me. Why not sell CDs? I'd rather give them out for free. Underground knows what I mean. I guess it's something innate. I guess it's in our genes. We all need a break. So make no mistake. If you need a shoulder to lean, just come to ProphetCee. Let's make it a rap, cause it's all love. UTG. I don't know where this road will lead, but I'm on to the show with my family. I don't know where this road will lead. So I made that about him.
I love how that, what a neat opportunity to honor your friend.
Yeah.
And to honor yourself in that way also. And to hold that place, Brent and Charlotte also talked about losing their daughter, a few weeks ago. And I realized that even when the person's that same place, when the person's here, when they pass, they're still here fully. And so your emotions and stuff don't really change or leave. You're holding them the whole time. And so that in that song, you just continue to hold them and to honor him, and other people get to learn about him. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know it was on autoplay. But I guess I'll talk about this one. That's cool. Real quick.
So what's this one?
This is called Waking Up. It's got a little intro to it, so it's cool. I was kind of coming out of my little coma from just kind of cutting myself off from feeling, because it hurt to feel, you know what I mean? So I felt like I was becoming more in touch with my spirituality and waking up, like literally with my third eye, and I wanted to wake people up. So I put this alarm clock at the beginning of the song as like a sign, like wake up, like listen, like we don't have to live like this. So that's what this song's about.
I like this one.
Thanks, man. It was fun doing this one live for sure. As you've seen that in my live video, I had fun doing this one. I don't know how to categorize it. Like, I don't know what genre it is really. What to call it? I don't know what to call it.
Oh, I like it. Maybe it's a new genre.
Yes, that was the goal, kind of. I wake up, I can feel it in my system. This prescription, something's missing. So this morning, the dishes, I have wishes for my family, another for myself. I can't seem to get my mind off the bullshit they say, the wealth. I'd rather have my health, lucid dreaming, what lies underneath the reality that we perceive and believe in them's heathens. Now I'm searching for my inner peace, and even though my lungs are filled with smoke, I always stay truthful all along. Thought I knew all the time, only grew. Now I put my faith in you. Destiny is straight up calling me, boo. Time to wake up. I've been gone for too long. Am I tripping? I can feel that something's different. Dang, I'm uplifted. I'm awake. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I going through? Like, what's happening? What is this? And then I'm awake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it kind of like continues with the second verse, like, okay, now that I'm awake, right? So that's what I say, like, now that I'm awake, you hear? it builds up to the next one.
So you got this like, what's going on? I'm kind of starting, and then kind of the moment of like I'm awake.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I use it like as if I just woke up out of bed though. See,
I like it.
Right? I'm awake. I just hopped out of the bed, smoked to the head, worked out, and took my meds. Now I'm fed, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling lucky, UTG, no one can touch me. Spreading love like plates on Sunday, passed around the benches. Had to step my game up to see over the fences. My senses are retentive, past feeling vindictive. The toxins are pouring from my system. My brain feels the aneurysm as I try to form an algorithm like a mathematician. Rain Man, on a mission. If you feel what I am inventing, then you catch this drift, man. If you know the words and sing that riff, that moment of pure bliss, where I show y'all ain't gotta live like this. Class dismissed, I'm away. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
awesome. I love that.
That's what's up. All right. So that's how that song came about. Definitely can talk about another one.
Thank you, Haley. That's my girl. It's right there.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's much love. I appreciate it. Definitely opening my heart out here because, a lot of people, like we were talking before.
I didn't know you had that little nickname from Barbino.
Oh, that's my family nickname,
family?
Coco. Yeah, and a lot of people, friends and family, call me Coco. Let me switch that. Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, hey, what's up?
We got a double live stream going.
Yeah, it's pretty trippy. It's cool though. It's cool. Let's see here. Do you want me to maybe play another song or something? A couple. Let's see here.
Too bad Mouthpiece isn't gonna hear you guys do that.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'll do 8-bit.
Yeah, this is awesome. Tell the story. The story in this one. This is a good message. This is for the video game generation and the mindless lack of mindfulness of what's going on, and that focus and that training of violence.
Yeah, it's definitely.
You want to pause it for a second and then talk just a little bit about this one?
Yeah, it's definitely 8-bit is the song about.
That's her fave, she says.
Yeah. Oh, that's what's up. Thank you, man. That's awesome. I appreciate that. I wrote this song thinking about. It was right after Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, and it's a cool game, But I was just thinking about how these kids sit around and they play these video games, and I seen how the media was, who knows if it's true or not, but they're making a big deal how these kids is causing violence or whatever, and I have seen a little bit of that, you know what I mean? How it could create this violent attitude because you get lost in this little false reality, and you literally get lost, and you're not gonna find yourself in a video game,
right?
But some of these video games, it's like it's basically training these kids on like how to do even something violent, basically. I don't want to say something too crazy, but I'll explain myself. When you hear the lyrics, you can definitely understand where I'm going with it. So I'll speak the lyrics, you know what I mean? I wear a cloak, call me the jester of the new king's court. Stages beaten, enemies defeated. I battle demons, got a rhyme for my reason. Listen to me, you're not living in reality. No control, AI, the world's at war. You getting high, but we getting by. You don't want to try, game over, you die. Cheat codes don't have the game froze. System overload, the world's a mess. Kids with the Kevlar vest in, it's all good. Tell one takes a shot to the head. Soldiers training for battle with a controller as a rattle, learning how to steal cars and trip out of houses. Another victim of a broken home. Left alone, no allowance, this ain't no Nintendo game. You don't want to battle me. It's 8-bit to the new way, victory for prophecy. This ain't no Nintendo game. You don't want to battle me. It's 8-bit to the new way, victory for prophecy. That's me. I'm getting girls, I'm taking shrooms in this trippy world. I powered up, got extra life. Taking a trip with a gun and a knife. You gotta stay strong with survival. The fittest, so I spit it through, rip it up, pause, and never quit it. Perfection, bipolar, OCD, anxiety, waiting in the pharmacy. I'm waking up to inception. You ain't about this life, man. Sleep detection, infecting the waves, trying to get paid. Hold up, I'm here to save the day. Sorry, not the curse.
We already get a disclaimer.
Yeah. So I made a bridge. If you can picture Mario going to save the princess.
Yeah,
as I
love
explained
that.
last
Yeah.
night. This ain't a Nintendo game. So it's definitely just like a message, you know, that, you know, you don't, if you think this is a game, you don't want to battle me for one. And second of all, you know, this is not a Nintendo game. This is artificial intelligence.
Right.
And the key word is intelligence.
Intelligence.
Intel.
Yes.
Intelligence.
Yes.
Yes. So, definitely in there. I don't mind playing another one.
Barbie dolls. You give me little happy heart faces.
Much love, man. Let's see here.
Let's get the hearts to move it across the screen. I don't see no hearts.
Oh, hold on. Let's see my This song,
oh, yeah.
I know you like the backstories for this one. Disconnected. My boy at the time, Reese, made it. I think it's a Metallica sample that he used. I'm sure he got cleared. But a long time ago, I was in a relationship with this girl, and she wrecked my life up, and she wrecked my vehicle. So when I say I gave you the keys and you metaphorically wrecked it.
So this was somebody that you were in a relationship with, and it was, you know how relationships go, you know, with certain things, and then, you know, things get all caught up and locked up, and you think things are going in a different direction, and somebody wants to go another direction.
And she took my Forerunner and wrecked it. And so I said, I gave you the keys, you metaphorically wrecked it. Speaking of my heart as well, you twisted, ripped it in perspective.
Yes,
so
I like that.
It's a whole,
I like that.
It's a whole, you know. She actually came and seen me perform one time.
Yeah?
And, yeah, and it was...
Did she know this was about her?
Yes. When one of my first shows ever, like, there was maybe 10 people there, right? Like, you know, it was one of my first shows. It was a very little show. And, you know, and some shows are little, you know, some shows are big, depending on how you promote it and stuff.
That's
but
awesome,
anyways,
big ones.
Yeah. Those were freak show entertainment shows. Shout out again to them. But yeah, so I seen her in the bar. She walked in and she was like acting all nonchalant. And it was my turn to get on stage. So I was like, shout out to my ex-girlfriend here tonight. Shout out to you. And I'm not going to say her name. But yeah.
That's an awesome moment. That's that moment, like, yeah.
And everything. And she walked out the bar. But, you know, it was funny. It happens, you know. She wrecked my truck, man. You know?
In your heart.
In my heart, man. Maybe not so much in retrospect,
but at the time.
Yeah, at the time, I was pretty hurt, man. Our lovers commit crimes. It's hard to align. A word we can't define. Spoken, our language is broken. Spit a verse, you can get to choking. I wasn't joking when I admitted how wrongfully I was acquitted. Although comments from the beginning, I feel like this hurt man is never ending. A fallen angel, heaven sent you. Were my all, now nothing get bent. Get on your knees and repent. I'm not cool, I represent space I've had event. Emotionally I'm spent, mentally I'm drained. No, but can't cope my pain. I see my truth from a distance, man. Can't decipher one day from infinity beyond. We spend a century, so what's not meant to be. The pain from the pills will have you feeling ill, but don't forget to pay the hidden fee when you lose them chills off that dopamine from the fiends. Are we disconnected? Gave you the keys, you metaphorically wrecked it. Speaking of my heart as well, you twisted, ripped it in perspective. Are we disconnected? Gave you the keys, you metaphorically wrecked it. Speaking of my heart as well, you twisted, ripped it in perspective. Mistakes have occurred, bridges are broken. I'm sponging up my life, they call me super soaking. I'm so unspoken, well, filled with anxiety from everything inside. It eats me alive, and I feel deprived like a beast. I can't rest at all until I R.I.P. And hopefully the only thing I'll R.I.P. lately is AUTGB. Well, eventually I'll reach the day will I discover inner peace. Will probably be the day that I also unleash my inner beast. Are we disconnected? Gave you the keys. Got one more verse to it. You twisted, ripped it in perspective. Are we disconnected? Gave you the keys. Are we disengaged? Cause I asked you to behave. After all the love we made, well now I'm taking it to the grave. Rest in peace when I stop breathing. Life ain't nothing to this heathen. Ain't got nothing to believe in. So the earth I'm leaving. Cause looks are deceiving. Words can be manipulated. Wrists keep bleeding. And life is so frustrating. Man, I'm sick of patiently waiting on a decent conversation. Not reflected on my persuasion of jealousy from all my past relations. So I'm blazing, hey, getting faded. Put the Bible on the table. Saying my prayers. Please God save them.
I like that.
Thanks, man.
You know, you have quite a collection of really beautifully woven together verse, which I said, you know, your verse in the universe, you know, because we are all one. And then we seem separate because we're individuals, and we are in a way that part and those pieces, but we're aware and we're awake. And so when you put together all of the verse and your words and your stories and you present them there, it's kind of like in a little sense, you sharing your story here is what you do every day when you write a song or when you perform a song. You bring it right there and everybody's like listening to it, whether they're aware fully or not. And you always present in your shows, you kind of tell the backstory too, right?
Right.
Yeah, which is unique and different.
Yeah. I try to get up there and like say like, you know, like if I got a couple seconds into the intro, you know, I'll be like, hey y'all, just real quick, this is a song. Like when I get mad, hit the dash, I'll be like, y'all see any cops out tonight? I'll be like, yeah. And I'll be like, well, make sure to click it tonight because this is a story about my encounter with some. First question, you know, and then I run into the song. So
yep, well, I like that song.
I can play it.
I think you
it's a
should.
little explicit.
Well, we already put our explicit thing up there, so just real quick, pause it real fast and give a little bit of a backstory to this one because this one's good, and you're like, yeah.
A little backstory to this. This is a story that happened. I was. This is the first song that I ever wrote. And it's the first song that I ever recorded. I was doing these little freestyle videos on YouTube, and this guy Reese hit me up and was like, come to my studio. I want you to record, you know, before we brought it over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I did this song. And it was about some things I was going through at the time with the judicial system, getting pulled over, got in a lot of trouble, you know. I've turned my life around completely, but it is a chapter in my life. And I shouldn't be ashamed of that because, you know, I'm a better person maybe for what's happened. Maybe if these things wouldn't happen, I might have to still have the same state of mind, right?
Well, the part we were talking about too last night is that awareness when you're awake and you have these other things that were going on, and as you begin to kind of put your life into motion, that's like, okay, well, I'm aware of these things now, and I know that if I do them, they feel weird to do them anymore because they're not you anymore, but they are because of your past. But your past is a story in which if you tell your story, there's other people that have gone through the same things that are just waiting to hear what you have to say, in that place of holding and love that you have about yourself. You're able to share with other people, and they're able to go, maybe I'm becoming more awake. Maybe there's something different that I could do. And if you don't know, if we didn't share our stories, if we stay ashamed and guilty, and you know, I don't want to share that.
Right.
You know, when you become fully transparent, and you are a transparent person, you share in a way that I just connected with last night. That I'm like, I'm supposed to be here, and it's just a beautiful thing to be able to share with somebody else that is so aware of their life and what life is, and that the asteroid that crashes into the earth and they take a sample of it is the same DNA that we are, and the stardust as we call. And but as humans, we have a unique experience to be able to explain that stardust, right, and to talk about it. And you do it in a way that is so blessed and is so clear that I believe that you know, when we shared our stories together, we were able to look at each other in that light belly, you know, that you talk about, that is just, it glows about you, and it's wonderful. And so this story, I like this one in particular. I was like, yeah. So.
Yeah, so I was on the phone and I literally got pulled over for going over 10 miles an hour. And the first question he asked me is, you know, have you been smoking in this vehicle? So it's really funny when you hear the
not
whole...
cigarettes.
Not
probably,
cigarettes. Yeah. And you can just hear the whole backstory from it. Crossing state lines, getting pulled over for 10. That's in the third verse. Second verse, my grandmother literally called me because she sits by the scanner right outside.
Oh, no.
Yes. So this is a true story.
Yeah.
Like, this is my life, man. And she called me and she's like, I don't know where you are, but your name's on the scanner, so I don't know, you need to get home.
Well, that's
now,
not what Grandma wants
right?
to hear.
So when I say, you know, on the second verse, I'll play it. So it tells the story itself. It really does, the song, right?
Mm-hmm. It does very much.
And this is when I had first started going to college. You know, I went back, got my degree, thank God. But this is what halted up my college experience. First question, how fast was I going? 40 and a 30 and it smells like I'm smoking? Now you say you arrested me for going back in the day for chips in the trap, and now I'm on time. I ain't got the money for your fines. Mr. Officer, don't make me walk your white line, embarrassing people. That shit is evil. Protecting, sir, committing crime, selling drugs to my thugs. Maybe you're late for work or you're late for class. Get mad, hit the dash, get mad, hit the gas. Get mad, hit the, plus you got another one cause your trunk was on blast, alright? Extra ticket didn't click it, now he's got your ass. Alright, so let's see. Second occasion, it's a sticky situation. My granny calling me saying my tags was on the scanner stating I was on the run again, chilling with my crew again. I knew them hoes were moving in, deep up in my whip of friends. Lit the swisher, popped the script, had the gun up on my hip. Now I'm on some papers, ain't life a trip, so I dipped out. After government let my clip out, the boss but call my mama, man, you know she flipped out. I had the stash under my feet, so I got a little heated when he ripped up my seat. I took the shot to trial, you know it got beat. ProphetCee versus the state of Tennessee. All dismiss UTG, don't pay no fees, FTG. Your roll and roll covenant, wasn't it? Now I'm at us with my middle fingers up. And now that I'm free, my mother, your door is stuck. Maybe you're late for work or you're late for class. Get mad, hit the dash, get mad, hit the gas. Police pull you over cause you're driving too fast. See, so it's got a whole thing to it. And then the third verse, it's like, really? You know what I mean? Like, not again.
Yeah.
Like, really? Like, so I usually online, I'll be like, hold on, we got another part to this story. Wait a minute. 10 is 20% crossing states and you in another city and you caught a new case, gotta go to court again. I'm running late, got pulled over doing 80 on the interstate. Like, fuck, really again? Unless we stand up, this shit is never gonna end. Profiling pictures on Facebook, FBI. Got the tips on all the drive-bys, but they don't do shit cause they just want your money, bitch. Don't get it flipped or get it twisted. This is what it's all about for me and you. They in it for the paper, boo. So stop the snitching, contribute. Stop crying to me when you're lying to me. And you wonder why we so defiant. And that's the punchline too. Wonder why we so defiant. So.
Well, you know, what I experienced in when I was using and being arrested and such, I did notice that there is, just like with any organization, you're like, oh, this is the greatest organization, but you still got people in there that kind of ruin the whole thing, you know? Church does that, nonprofits do that, stores do that. Groups of friends do that, and those that you know, protect and serve, as we call it, I think that they generally, I think most people that enter into that are really wanting to do something good, and yet there are those components and parts in there where people just they just are people, and they take that power and abuse it. And I'm glad that I'm not a cop, because that sounds like a really crazy and difficult to discern what's right and what's wrong when things are going on the fly like that.
There's definitely good and bad ones.
Mm-hmm.
I know good ones, and I've seen bad ones.
I as well. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I was going to say something I'm not going to say out loud about some bad ones. But anyways, but generally the focus on your songs and such, they have a deep backstory, and they're real. Like, they talk about rappers sometimes, or hip hop artists that kind of paint this pretend background, or this pretend thing, or whatever, and then they get called out. It's like, well, wait a second, you grew up in the suburbs over here with this, and this is your family, and here's your friends that are starting to go, hey, he wasn't like that at all, he was a nerd. Mm-hmm. You have the life. You
all of us people,
mm-hmm.
we do. Like, it is a medical, I think, fact that every 5 to 8 years, what we consume, the environment, the stress of the environment, nutrients, food, everything we consume, every 5 years we change as people, because the bacteria in our body,
mm-hmm.
That's what we're made up of.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't realize on a quantum level that's what's going on, right? So we do change and evolve, but it's important to talk about our roots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we all stem from different branches, from different trees, but we're all on the same ground. Mm-hmm. And that's what a lot of people don't see, right?
Yeah, they try to hold themselves up here, or those that sit in the guilt and shame down here, and then they try to make themselves up here, or those that are up here, like they don't want you to find out they were down here, but they aren't. We're all right here. And that's one thing that I experienced with you when we sat down last night, and it was just like, yeah, and I knew it. I mean, I knew that you are you, and I was so excited to come and see, that I might have something in me that's able to see through people's videos and the way they present that they are themselves. And it doesn't matter what part of themselves is out there, I get to see that part. So, and that's kind of one neat thing I think about making videos and such, or songs, or friends, that you get to take those parts out of your life, and you hope that people catch what you're saying, or catch who you are. And that's a neat experience with your music, that you get a clear catch of who you are, and a clear part in your story, and a clear path of where you're going, and where your roots were, and that you're not necessarily that anymore. We were talking last night too about in my active addiction, I had behaviors that I look at and I'm like, oh, maybe I did do that, or maybe I did do that, but we're not linear. We are a circle. We go through the life, and it's not on a set timeline that's all stretched out like this, where you're just all connected together, in some way like that. You are all of those parts, and you are the person you are now. And people can't.
Running in these circles, wondering what we're chasing.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was.
Bam.
I got a song for that. Just at least the hook.
This is the one with the girl that has the haunting.
Stormy.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
And life turns the chapter. We're all running in these circles, wondering what we're chasing after. I say happily ever after. Then life turns the chapter. We all running in these circles, wondering what we're chasing after. And there's a reason I didn't switch up that. I want it to be repetitive, to show that it's a vicious circle. Yes. And I wanted her voice to just be really haunting, and that's how Reese produced it. When he produced this, we all made sure, we got that vibe.
It's awesome.
I just want to show the hook on that.
You showed it to me last night. It's a good song, though. Yeah. So this experience of coming here to Tennessee, because I hadn't originally, I talked to her before about, coming here to Tennessee, and I was like, I don't think I can get down here and make that whole loop and everything. And as I didn't even make it into Canada. Some other people had some other things going on in their lives. And it happened to be that I could slip right in here and come here, and your hospitality is blessed, and I appreciate opening your home and feeding me and taking me to coffee and having a place for me to sleep, and sharing who you are and sharing who you are. Yeah. And it's been
a mutual exchange, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's been a good time. I definitely, like we was talking outside, I would definitely, if you got friends that you are cool with online and they give you the opportunity to meet them, I would definitely recommend you to do that because, we're forever going to be closer friends now because
the same space that we shared.
Because the same space that we shared, other than online, just because we've connected in the same space. It's strong. It's a stronger bond, stronger friendship.
It is.
Sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And making that effort to
like
come.
You said too, the transparency, right?
Yeah.
Like once you're in front of somebody, like the veil is lifted.
Yeah, the veil is lifted.
Right?
And well, there's people like you also that, and other people that are actually in this group, and other people that I know that have been completely transparent with who they are. Like there is no you can't attack them or say, well, you did this. Well, yeah, I did, but we're not stuck in there. But you want to hear the story about it, right. That sort of thing, and you are genuine and a beautiful human being, and I'm very, very happy that you're in my heart now in a different way, and that as I travel this trip and as I go into my grave, you will always be a part of me.
Oh yeah,
and I think it's awesome.
And if you're ever passing through, you got a place to crash here.
Well, you too in California.
Man, I really want to come out there after you talking about it.
Yeah. Well, that's Rebecca's one of the people that I really want you to meet. Rebecca, if you can watch,
what's up?
If you can watch this, Rebecca, if you can watch this later and stuff and get a hold of her privately, there's some things that you guys get to talk about because things are way different here, way different in the South. In the Bible Belt, in the place where, in my opinion, they're pushing Christ away. But I really appreciate, though, that there are these beautiful things that are different in California. And Rebecca, I want you to private message her and talk. But listen to the interview and check it out. Would you also, when we're done with this, put some places where people can go into become part of your page and stuff? Because you have like a gajillion people in there. You have a lot of people that connect with you, and now I see, not being here, I had, because of all the different work that you do as an artist, it's hard to track who you are necessarily within all of that because you have all these things we're promoting and different things like that. And so, once I sat down with you, I was like, everything just drew together. And so I would love for other people to be able to be part of your movement and what you're doing.
I appreciate that. And anybody that wants to be a part of my movement, just let me know. Inbox me. I will make you a page moderator or something for my ProphetCee page. Whatever you want to do to help, advertiser. There's a couple different page roles I will set. Yeah, it's just inbox me.
Yeah. Sure. So that's about it for now. I'm heading to Niagara Falls, so that's actually a 2-day trip from here.
So awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. And so hopefully I get to see Miss Bodina, Ashley Bonita. And because I can't get into Canada, she said she would come and visit me there. So I'm looking forward to that. And so thank you.
Oh, you're awesome. Man. Oh, so glad to have you. It's been an experience.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you got to share it with me. I'm lucky, to have you come down here and meet with me.
It's been beautiful. And it is beautiful.
And you got to meet one of my friends.
Yeah, I got to meet Zach. Hey Zach. I don't know if you're going to watch this later or not, but Zach.
I will make you watch it, Zach. When you're watching this, you're going to be watching it with me, and you're going to be looking at me laughing because I'm pointing at you, and you're going to be looking back at each
Zach.
other.
So, but anyways, pointing back at each other, he'd be like, yeah, I can see him doing that. Yeah, pointing right at you. And that was a blessed experience. He's a beautiful human also. I mean, I guess you had a sense that we were going to click.
Oh, I knew y'all were going to click.
Yeah.
I felt like you were like mine, like us, like we were talking about the common interest thing. Like we reach for common interest for each other, but sometimes you just meet and you just know that you guys are just on the same ground. Like,
yes. I
guess it just doesn't feel like a seesaw, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, it is. It's that common ground. As I get ready to go, I'm like, how can I make this interview keep going? Because I have these moments I'm about to get in the car and go. It's hard for me.
Bet, man.
And so when I not only the road and the driving,
low, and then you gotta say goodbye. I know.
But it's beautiful though, and I know you as touring too.
Too, right?
Yeah, it is. It's a bittersweet thing, but it's more sweet than bitter. So,
no doubt, brother.
All right. Okay. All right. Take care. This is Courtney, ProphetCee.
Much
So,
love.
yeah. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye. Oh, your girl just said something